Good morning. Good morning. Thank y'all for being patient. I had to get one more piece of news to go with what I needed to talk about this morning. But we're ready. We're ready. Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, everybody. How y'all doing? Y'all. This been a long week. But we have made it to the end of the week. Ooh, child, let me turn that down. But anywho, how y'all doing? Good morning. Let's see who we got here. D is real. Good morning. I have not seen that name before, but hello. Rose Armstead is here. It's Cookie Dough is here. Crystal Amos is here. Siobhan Foster. Good morning. Reba 0616. Stephanie is in the building. Shannon Bradley. Good morning. Good morning. Malika Leak. Good morning. Tanya 53. Good morning. Erica Butler. Rail Canadian best friend. I always laugh at that. Good morning. Shirley Terry, good morning. Mrs. Washington, Lorraine Tyler, Deborah Banks, good morning. Maria Perry, Woman Within, good morning. Nikki B, good morning. Carla Johnson, good morning. Robin Hicks, good morning. Dolores Campbell, Sweet Essence, good morning. Typical Sugar Cookie, good morning. Lisa's World, good morning. True TV Podcast, that's a content creator. Y'all check her out. AAMU Gray, good morning. Vera Dockery, good morning. Terry Copeland, good morning. MCL Capricorn, good morning. S&G Sim 9311. Okay, good morning, honey. Good morning. Mashonda Jackson, Miss Notary. If y'all need some notary service, y'all holler at Mashonda. All right. Liz MC, what's up? Versina McCrary, good morning. Aries Girl Podcast, good morning. Hold on. Aries Girl Podcast, that's a content creator. Y'all check her out, okay? Good morning, Monique. Good morning. Good morning, Carla Burnell. Good morning, Crystal Amos. Deborah Johnson, All Things Helen, good morning. Good morning. Versina McCrary, Karlissa Shell. Good morning to everybody. I see some new names in here. So for those of you that are here for the first time, honey, we do have the tendency to act up just a little bit. Don't worry about it. We're okay. We read and drag over here, and we talk about the Lord sometimes, all right? We talk about everything over here. So you're going to get a nice little laugh and a gag, including some great news that I know you can use. Siobhan Foster, good morning, love. Jamila Ward, good morning. All right, Deanna, Joseph, we got any birthdays in here this morning before we get started? Because I know sometimes y'all be like, Cameron, I had a birthday, you didn't tell me. So y'all, let me know if y'all put it in the chat. Anybody got birthdays? Anybody got an anniversary? Anybody before we move on? Nobody? Okay. All right, then let's get on into the show, honey, because we got one. As you guys can see going across my screen, everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment. All right, let's get into it. You guys know we've been covering, somebody said I usually watch from the bushes. Thank you so much, All Things Helen. I appreciate you coming into the chat. You're always welcome. All right. So y'all know we've been covering this Naziah case. This is near and dear to me. I've been putting on my Columbo hat, and I've been thinking of some things that could have happened, worst case scenarios, and all of those things to, I guess, help solve this case. No, I am not a detective. I would probably like to be, because I be solving crimes when I watch these shows, child. I told y'all. So I am Caramel Columbo, honey. I had to put my Columbo hat on. But let's get into some news about this Naziah case, because I don't want to stop talking about it until we get a verdict. All right. I've been looking at some stuff. I've been looking at some Facebook pages of her family, and it's a little sus. I ain't going to lie to you. It's giving sus, and that means suspect. For those of you who don't know street lingo, it's giving suspect. All right. That Aunt Shannon, the one that was dating him and got 5 kids from him. I did learn, and let me correct myself on that. She didn't have just one child. She has 5 with Jarvis after he told her that he was a registered sex offender. So let's go ahead and get into some things, because I pulled some clips from everywhere that I could of what we could share, because I do want to talk about this case, and I'm going to keep talking about this case, just like I did to Shanquilla. Rest in peace to Shanquilla. We're going to still keep her name in our mouths until she gets justice. All right, again, rest in peace to Shanquilla. Today, we are going to focus on Naziah Harris, a 12-year-old rather, who was unalived by this person who she perceived to be her uncle, who groomed her, who was inappropriate with her in conversation via text messages, who was sexually violating her right up under her family's nose. They knew who he was. The sister knew who he was. We're going to see a testimony from her. We're going to see testimony also from the guy who worked at the shop And I also stand corrected. It was not a barber shop. It was a car shop where he repaired cars. Okay. Jarvis was working at a repair shop because, you know, he's a registered SEX offender, probably couldn't get a great job anywhere else because of that. So that's where he was working. That's where he was taking Naziah to have sexual inappropriate moments with her, as well as at her grandmother's basement. So for those of you not following this case, I'm going to try to get you guys well versed on what's going on in this damn case from all the clips and things that I've pulled. We talked about it last night. I went back and I pulled another clip as well. Well, pulled a clip that I tried to play for you guys last night. It was kind of low. I think I found a louder clip so that you guys can hear what this Aunt Shannon had to say whenever she met Jarvis and how he told her that he was a pedo, and she still decided to date him and have 5 children with him, of which one of her children is said to have been inappropriately touched by him as well. Let's get into this show, honey. My Lord.
It's sad, incredibly unspeakable, and we want to bring justice to her and her family.
A 41-year-old man made a 12-year-old girl think she was in love with him, but when she told him she was pregnant, he took her life and made the girl disappear from this world.
I'm looking for my cousin that's missing. She a 13-year-old girl.
12-year-old Naziah Harris was last seen getting off the school bus at the corner of Cornwall and 3 Mile Road in Detroit on January 9th last year. According to evidence found by the police, Harris was already 2 months pregnant when he went missing. Although Harris has not been found yet, numerous pieces of evidence indicate that she has passed away. Jarvis Ramon Butts, 41, is facing multiple felony charges for taking Harris's life. He is the father of an unborn child. The court revealed that Butts had been S.A. Harris since 2022, and they met because Butts was Harris's aunt's boyfriend. The court disclosed the disturbing information that Butts sent to Harris before her disappearance. In the message, Harris told Butts that she was pregnant and talked about encountering trouble at school due to her baby and seeking help from Butts. Butts killed her to evade responsibility and tried to cover up the evidence. According to reports, this is not the only S.A. case in which Butts was involved. The prosecutor claimed that he had targeted women and befriended them in order to approach their daughters and S.A. them. Butts' trial is scheduled to begin on January 16th. What kind of punishment do you think Butts should receive?
Incredibly sad.
Life, I would say. If not that, definitely the death penalty. He is a repeated offender. This is the second time. He's already served 10 years. So that means they let him out and he did worse. We already talked about last night and the day before. There's a 4-year-old who contracted chlamydia because he was inappropriate with that child. That child's probably ruined mentally, psychologically, and every other way. Okay? That's a lot for a 4-year-old to have to deal with. That's a lot for Naziah at her age to have had to deal with. She was groomed by this person who was supposed to be an adult. And I feel like her family members failed her. Now, let's get into some history of her family because I started digging. I watched a lot of videos. I've looked at Facebook pages. They are public, so I can go on there and look and talk about what I've seen and or know about her family tree and what's been going on here. Let's get into it. Now, Naziah's mother, people keep asking, where's Naziah's mother? Why did she and how did she come to live with her grandmother? She came to live with her grandmother because her mother was on drugs. Her mother was not well enough to take care of her. So Naziah's grandmother, who is Naziah's mother's mother, took her in. Now, Naziah's mother had Naziah when she was 13 years old. Now, this is a repeated cycle, which it sounds like within this family. All right. I'm going to say it again. Naziah's mother was 13 years old when she had Naziah. Naziah passed away at 13 years old, 2 to 3 months pregnant by her abuser. Okay. Now, Naziah's grandmother, check this out. Naziah's grandmother had Naziah's mother at 11 years old. Y'all hearing this? Naziah's grandmother had Naziah's mother, who was on drugs, and gave her custody of Naziah when she was 11 years old. The same grandmother has 7 to 8 children I'm seeing, all of which they asses are fucking crazy. From what I've been seeing on these Facebook pages and how they post stuff and just stuff that they've been posting and crazy. Okay, crazy. Rest in peace to Naziah. Let's continue because we got more. There's more. I'm gonna play you guys some clips. I hope you guys don't get tired of this case because this is something that's very near and dear. I told you guys I definitely want to talk about it. So let's get into some clips that I pulled. All All right, so this clip is the fiance. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about a fiance for, but this is the fiance of Jarvis Butts, the man accused of unaliving Naziah Harris. All right, she testifies that he has very secret behavior, and when she met him and the dynamic of their relationship. Here we go.
Give the court reporter your name right here, and then I'll swear you in.
Shout out to Shantae T.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yes. Watch your step. And once you get situated, you can hold that whole microphone with the little white cap on it in your lap, or just link to it. Okay. Just tug it off there.
It has a type, I see.
May I proceed, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you. Could you state your name for the record, ma'am?
Chrisean Davis.
And Ms. Davis, I want to ask you about someone by the name of Jarvis Butts. Do you know that person?
Yes.
And how do you know Mr. Butts?
He was my fiance.
And do you see Mr. Butts in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you point to him and identify a piece of clothing that he's wearing?
He's right there with a green top on.
For the record, the witness has identified the defendant, Jarvis Butts, in this matter.
So reflective.
Thank you. And how long, you said he was your fiance.
Yes.
How long in total have you known Mr. Butts?
4 years.
And
2019.
2019?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And when did you become engaged?
2023.
And can you tell us a little bit about the nature of that relationship? Do you have any children with him? Things like that.
No children.
Okay.
Thank God.
And would Mr. Butts sometimes stay over at your house?
Yes.
How often would that happen?
Pretty often, but we didn't live together.
Okay. I want to take your attention back to January of 2024 and February of 2024. Did there come a time when Jarvis Butts asked you to drive him to court?
Yes.
And when was that?
February 7th.
Of 24?
Yes.
And was there a time before that you had to drive him to court?
Yes.
And when was that?
January, I think it was the 9th.
Okay.
It was in January.
So you've at least driven him to court twice?
Yes.
And let's talk about the January 9th date that you drove him. What was the reason he wasn't driving himself? Why were you driving him?
Because he thought he was going to have to turn himself in then for another case, and then they rescheduled it.
Okay, so on the 9th, he was supposed to turn himself in, but didn't actually end up doing that?
Correct.
Okay. And then on the 7th, did he ask you to drive him to court again?
Yes.
And what was the reason that you drove him to court on the 7th?
Because he was supposed to turn himself in.
And did he end up turning himself in on the 7th?
Yes.
Okay. When you were driving him on the 7th of February 2024, first, what kind of car do you drive?
2005 Suburban.
And what color is it?
Tan.
And when you were driving him to court, who else was with you, if anyone?
Nobody.
Just you and Mr. Butts?
Yes.
And when you were driving him to court, did you ask him about his cell phone?
Yes.
What did you ask him?
I said, "Where's your phone?"
And what was his response when you asked him that question?
He left it at home.
And did you have any other conversation regarding his phone on the 7th when you were driving him to court?
No.
And what did you said he did turn himself in?
Yes.
And so you drove back home, correct?
Yes.
Did you eventually have some contact with the police department?
Yes.
And where were you when you had that contact?
In the hospital.
And what did they ask you about generally?
Did I know anything about a missing child?
And do you know anything about missing child?
No.
Did they ask you about his cell phone?
All right. So they said the last known photograph of Naziah Harris taken January the 9th, 2024. She went missing after leaving school that day. And of course, we know she went missing right after she texted Jarvis to tell Jarvis she was pregnant. She, in some messages, and we're going to look at here in a few, she was letting him know that she could not go to gym. She was in gym class and it was starting to become hard for her to participate in gym. And her teachers were telling her she had to do certain things in gym class, but she was pregnant during that time. And if she did not participate and figure out what she was going to do about this baby, that she was going to get an F in class. She's a child. She's thinking about her grades. He's thinking about sleeping with her and getting rid of this baby. All right. So let's take this down. All right. Baby, baby, we got some good clips this morning. Do you hear me? I was up late last night getting this stuff together. All right. So this clip here.
Okay. So she gets out.
All right, so this is the guy who worked at the auto shop with Jarvis. Now, you cannot tell me he didn't see some inappropriate shit because Naziah was there a lot. When the sister came to the shop in order to bring her car to get repaired, she said she saw Naziah getting in and out of that white Escalade that we just heard about. All right, Jarvis was driving a white pearl white Escalade that was also seen at the shop, where Naziah was sitting in that Escalade, where she was getting in and out of that car, according to what according to what Jarvis' sister, when she got on the stand, and I'm gonna play that for you guys too, testified in court. She didn't ask no questions. She saw this girl. She didn't know who she was. One, you know who your brother is. Two, you know what he went to prison for 10 years for violating children. So to see a young child that you don't know getting in and out of his car, I'm sorry, did you call the police? Did you question him? Like, what happened? She saw her get out of the car. When I say her, I mean Naziah, get out of that same Escalade and go into a store, which was directly beside where they're saying this shop was. She got out of her car. She, meaning the sister, Jarvis's sister, went in the store. She said she saw her. She recognized her coat, what shoes she had on. So that means you were looking at this girl. You were checking her out. You did not at one time alert authorities about your brother having this girl at the shop. It looked weird. That's not his child. Why would this girl be at the shop with two grown men? Do I feel like the other gentleman there saw some things? I do. Because Jarvis was said to have violated sexually Naziah at this shop. And if you're working there, you can't tell me you didn't see him taking her into rooms, maybe closing the door. That would have been a red flag. What is this grown-ass man doing with this child, 13 years old, with a fucking book bag on at a shop? The family also knew that Naziah was hanging out at this shop as well with Jarvis, knowing that he was a pedo. The grandmother knew. Aunt Shannon knew, because Shannon already testified that Jarvis told her upon her meeting him that he was a repeated offender, at which she turned around and had 5 children with this man. Let's say fool. That sounds better. I ain't gonna say man. I'm gonna say fool. She's a fool as well. It sounds like everybody in this family is slightly on the spectrum from what I've been seeing, reading, posts on social media. Like, they all seem to be on the spectrum at some point. All right, so let's get into what King, this guy, he refers to himself named King. He is Jarvis's co-worker at the shop. Let's get into his testimony.
At the back seat and repositions herself to the front seat, so she can start the car.
And tell me, what kind of car, what kind of truck Jarvis drive?
Escalade.
Okay. And what color?
It's pearl white.
Okay. What, if you can see, what is his niece doing while you guys are working on the shop, at the shop?
I believe she's on her cell phone, I believe.
Does Jarvis ever take his niece anywhere that, like, while you guys are working at the shop?
No.
No? Okay. Did you ask him if he was going to take her home at all?
I believe I asked him, was he going to drop her off when the truck ran out of gas? We had to push it to the pump. It was just a distraction from work, so I asked, was he going to drop her off? He said no.
And did you finish working on the Jaguar that day?
Yes.
Okay. And what happens after you finish up on the Jaguar?
I called my son, grandma, and asked her how she was going to retrieve the vehicle. She said she was going to tow it back. I told her she didn't have to do that. That was just spending extra money. So I asked Jarvis, was it all right if we dropped it off? He said yes. And we started making preparations to do so.
Do you recall about what time you guys finished the Jaguar and prepared to leave?
Probably around 7:30ish, somewhere around there.
When do you guys eventually leave the shop?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me about who all leaves the shop?
Me, Jarvis, and his niece.
Okay. And tell me about the driving arrangements.
So I drove my 300 and Jarvis drove the Jaguar.
Okay. And where was his niece at?
She was with him in the front seat of the Jaguar.
Now, are you able to recall what his niece looked like that day?
Yes. Faintly, but yes.
Do you remember what kind of clothing she was wearing?
I remember she had her jacket on. Like I said, a coat. It was cold, so I think it was colorful.
Colorful?
Yeah.
May I approach?
Yes.
And Mr. Wright, I'm approaching you with People's Proposed Exhibit 2. And I'm going to direct you to the top left corner. Can you tell me, is there anything that you recognize in that?
The jacket in Channel 1.
Okay. And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the jacket that you've seen his niece, Jarvis's niece, wearing that day?
Yes.
Okay. And I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 2.
Any objection? Okay. So we admit as People's Exhibit 2.
Thank you.
All right. So you guys heard what he had to say. Let's remove. All right. So a few red flags. As you guys heard him say at 7:30, he asked Jarvis, "Are you going to take Naziah home?" Jarvis said no. Now, mind you, this is a school week. Kids should be going to bed by 7:30 if you're going to school the next day. She's only 13 years old. She should have been home, already had a bath, getting ready to wind down to go to bed. Now, mind you, she done got in the car with him to go drop somebody's car off. That's probably going to take another hour or so. That's going to put her home late. Why is the grandmother not calling Jarvis? Say, Jarvis, where's Naziah? She should be home by now. She got school tomorrow. That's what a mother would do. This grandmother failed her. Her family failed her. Why is she allowed to be out? 7:30, it's starting to get dark. Why is she allowed to be out at certain times of the day at 13 years old, unaccounted for, with a grown-ass man who is not her father? That was my question. And two, I'm not going to buy the fact that this King guy that worked at the damn car repair place did not see and or feel like something was weird with this interaction with this little girl hanging around this shop as much as she was there, because I'm hearing she was there like all the time. If she wasn't there hanging out at the basement with him, she was at the shop. So with you seeing this interaction, I don't feel like he reported some stuff that he needed to, because one, he needed to have a job because he was working with Jarvis at this shop. Now, people have been asking, where is Naziah? Where is Naziah? Let me tell you where I feel like she is. And I'm just thinking on crime. I'm just thinking in a crime mind. Okay. My mind is telling me, if you're working at an auto shop, and follow me because I've watched enough shows, crime shows. If you're working at an auto shop, if they said that she was around some type of lake, river, or whatever it was, if you're trying to get rid of someone, and I got to say it in a way where YouTube won't flag me, you have to have something that if you put her in the water, that she will not be seen again. I am going to say that it was probably like a tire rim, some chains maybe that were used in order to use as a floating device if you put her in the water. They found her clothes, which they showed there was a struggle by this lake that they said. Also, her ID was found there. Her school ID was found out there as well, which shows she was in that vicinity. The girlfriend of George, one of his girlfriends, because he had a bunch of them, and all these hoes are stupid. One sitting up there talking about she the fiance. They done have about 3-4 girls that's supposed to be his girlfriends testifying on the stand, mind you. But this dumbass in my fiance, girl. Anyway, let's get back to this lake area. There was a struggle that was shown at the, or seen rather, at this particular lake. Her school ID was there. Her, like a hoodie was found there. That hoodie had holes in it, which looked like pow wounds in the hoodie from what was shown. Which says to me that he probably pow-powed her in order to unalive her and then probably put it in the river to dispose of her body. He will not tell anybody where she is, and I feel like that's what he did. Now, he did not drive there with Naziah in that white Escalade because that would have drawn attention. He had to drive there in a car where people wouldn't be like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think the car was blue or whatever. Had he pulled up to that scene in a white Escalade, people like, oh yeah, it was white Escalade, pearl Escalade, it would have went right back to him. So he was very smart in what he was doing. And he used one of his girlfriend's cars, a blue Nissan, I think she said Altima she owned. We're going to see the video here in a minute. A blue Nissan Altima where he had Naziah in that car, and he said he had to take his son, who was 6 years old, also from this same girlfriend somewhere. Now, the girlfriend said she didn't think nothing of it. Jarvis never asked to use her car before. She said she allowed him to use it twice. One day, the first day that she asked that he asked to use the car, she allowed him to use it. She, didn't think anything of it, even though he's never asked before, and he had his own car. Red flag. What you use my car for when you got one? 2, she said the next day he came back and asked again. Now, on day 2, I think it was, whenever he asked to use the car again, her son, her 6-year-old son, brought some glasses to her, some clear looking glasses, which we now know to be Naziah's glasses. She didn't ask no questions. She said she told the son put the shades or glasses back in the car. My thing is, why are people not asking enough questions? Maybe I'm just too nosy. But if I see certain things that's out of place, such as that, my son bring me some glasses, I'm be like, who glasses are these? Where you get them from? I'll be asking questions. I want to know why you need to use my car when you have a working vehicle. Not one day, but 2 days in a row. Where you going with my car? Plus, she said he kept her car overnight. Mind you, she's got to go to work. She said she didn't ask him where he was with her car. She didn't call him when he didn't come back the next day. He just brought the car back the next day. Maybe I'm just a little too nosy, but I'm going to be blowing your phone up if you ask me to use my car and I let you use my car, knowing I got to be to work the next day and you don't bring it back until then. I'm going to be calling you, asking you where the fuck is my car. And 2, you're not going to get my car a second time because you kept my car out overnight. So he used her car, this blue Nissan Altima, to dispose of Naziah, I feel like, because he did not want to use the white Escalade because it would have brought attention. Everybody in town probably knew he drove this white pearl Escalade. I'm going to say that car was probably tricked out. Rims, y'all know, when you see a white Escalade, you're like, oh, that's nice. Everybody's seen Naziah in this car. The aunt testified she also saw her in that car. So everybody obviously knows that Jarvis drives or drove a white Escalade. Let's get into the next clip. Oh, we're not done. We're not done, baby. All right.
Give the court reporter your name right here, and then I'll swear you in.
I'll play that one. That's the fiance. No. We don't want to see you no more, baby. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, give me 1 second. Did I upload it twice? Hold on. No. We're going to see this shit. No. All right, hold on. Hold on. Get that one. Okay, hold on. No, that's the aunt. God darn, didn't I know I uploaded it. Y'all bear with me, okay? I usually have my ish together, but baby, when you uploading, sometimes things don't come over. Okay, hold on. Let me go to the next one. I think I got it maybe uploaded somewhere else. All right, let's get to, okay. Yeah, this is what I need. I got it. All right, so let's go ahead and share this one. This is the one I tried to play for you guys last night. It was super low. I hope this one played loud enough because I want you guys to hear Aunt Shannon. This is Shannon who met Jarvis and had the 5 children. She called in on a podcast, as you guys can see on my screen, which is coming up. These are the 2 sisters. The one in the purple is the one that had the 5 children by Jarvis. The one in the blue is her twin sister. Okay. And the one in the middle, I'm understanding, is the grandmother, not the aunt. So it's the grandmother. Of course, that's Naziah in the blue shirt. Of course, that's Jarvis, this damn monster. Shout out to Dominique Speaks. Okay. She's on her shit. I love her because she have very, very good information when it comes to these crime shows. All right, let's get into this.
Recording where Shannon called into a podcast and she states that there is nothing desperate about her. She was also asked if she was aware that Jarvis was on the offender list when she met him, and she said that he did tell her that he was on the offender list, but she felt like if other people can give him a second chance, why can't she?
Jarvis did, that was him, not on me at all. At all. And yes, that might be my child's father. Yes, I do got 5 kids. Yes, my youngest is 1. Damn sure not desperate.
Apparently, this man has had a history of this. Like, so did you know about him being on the sex or, you know, any kind of activity about that? Like, had you even heard of anything like that before out of him?
When I met him, when I was 19, he did tell me his background. He did tell me his background. He gave me the decision.
So
if I wanted to pursue a relationship.
So given that his background was child, right? And you still made the decision to talk to him?
1, I was 19, and 2, if society can give you a second chance, why can't someone else give you a second chance as well?
I found a recording where Shannon...
Y'all hear that? How slow are you? How slow are you? You big back, pork chop eating damn Oompa Loompa. Bitch, the boy told you prior. Standing in your face. You just looking at him thinking he's so fine. Looking right past the fact that this nigga done sat up here and told you. Thank God he told you, because some SEX offenders don't tell people when they're in situations like that, because then they don't want people to be like, nah, I don't want to fool with you. He was open and honest with you about who he was and what he'd been to jail for. And you look right past that and was looking at the fact you thought he was so fine. He was probably spitting that good game to you. He sounded like he got a real slick mouth. What he does, according to the text messages that we saw, him talking to Naziah. He got a real slick mouth. He know how to woo the ladies, honey. He know what to say to get them out them panties, and that's exactly what he did to your silly ass, knowing he won't even attracted to you, baby. He was just trying to get you to, you know, have a few kids and to be around you. He used you to get close to Naziah. You were used. I'm going to say it again. He had already spotted Naziah, and he knew the way to get into that family to get close to Naziah, because she was his target, not you. He didn't give a fuck about you. He had a few kids along the way because he was getting on to his next victims when you had your kids. See how crazy this shit is? I've been putting this shit together like a puzzle. He was not interested or attracted in you, baby. When he was spitting that game to you, he had already peeped Naziah. And he said to himself, how can I get close to her? He probably picked out the slowest sister, because the other one over there looked crazy as hell too. They both look slow as hell. Grandma ass looks slow and on the spectrum too. I'm going to say that. Yeah, he is a predator. He's definitely a predator. He peeped Naziah out and he said, yep, she next. I got to get to that aunt and I got to speak that slick shit to her so that she can let me in. He made nice with grandma, because it said that Aunt Shannon lived with grandma. So Aunt Shannon, you going to tell me you didn't see that man coming in and out of there and he was all up in the basement and all that with your niece? I feel like that Shannon may have also assisted in Jarvis getting rid of Naziah out of anger that she was sleeping with her man. I said it, and I will not take it back. I'll say allegedly, because we haven't proven that yet. But I'm just thinking in the crazy mind of a desperate woman. Let's say fool. I like fool better. You allowed this person who you call boyfriend that you laid with, knowing he's a pedo, who also, prior to you, infected a 4-year-old girl with chlamydia. We got to say it that way in terms of you two. There's no telling what you got, because he was already sleeping with 5, 6, 7, 8 women prior to you, during you. You were not the only one getting the D, my dear. But you were dumb enough to put yourself in a situation to allow him to get close to you by means of trying to get to Naziah. So you did not protect her. You turned your head from seeing things to protect your niece. Now, I found out also, check this shit out. Jarvis has a 9-year-old daughter who twice walked in on Jarvis and Naziah having sexual relations. That's facts. That's court documented. Where the family at? Let me tell you how a 9-year-old think. Unless Jarvis got to this said 9-year-old, and unless he was also touching her inappropriately as well, because we already told you guys, when predators get their hands on children, the first thing they have to do is tell them, this is our secret. Don't tell nobody. You threaten them or make them feel fearful of telling another adult to keep your secret in order to continue your predatory behavior. I'm going to say it again. The 9-year-old walked in twice and saw Jarvis in the middle of having sexual relations with Naziah twice. Why wasn't anyone told about this until it came up in court? You know why? While he was in the middle of doing what he was doing to Naziah when that 9-year-old walked in the first time, I think Jarvis got to her and said, come here. You ain't see what you saw. I'm just speaking in crazy mind, okay? Because I can flip back and forth. I feel like he got to that 9-year-old and told her, keep your mouth shut. You didn't see what you saw. Probably bribed her. Here, take $20. I'm going to give you $20. Be quiet. Don't you tell nobody nothing. Because kids, you know, you give them a little something. They're like, okay, I ain't going to say nothing. You can woo a child like that. Second time, he was in there with Naziah. Same scenario. That child walked in. You remember the first time. Don't you say nothing. Here, take $20. Be quiet. Don't you say nothing. You didn't see what you saw. So that situation went unhandled or not handled. I'll be making up words, y'all. Follow me. Once again, this child is being failed, groomed, lied to, and felt like what she was getting from Jarvis was love because nobody in her family gave a fuck about her. Not her mama. Her mama cared about getting high and left her with her grandmother who didn't give a fuck about her. Okay? Because grandma was so busy doing other shit. Obviously, because grandma didn't even call the police whenever Naziah went missing until 2 days after she was missing. Didn't call the police. Shannon didn't call the police. I feel like Shannon didn't call the police and I felt like grandma didn't call the police because maybe Shannon knew some shit that was going on with Naziah and her disappearance. They were trying to get their stories together before they called 911 so their asses would not be looked at as suspects. I'm just in Caramel Colombo mind. Work with me. Because why wouldn't you call the police? When Naziah didn't come home that day, she come home the same day, the same time. Correct? She's 13 years old. She's 13 years old. Let's keep it in mind. When she didn't walk in that door, as she usually does, 10, 15 minutes after you didn't feel like something was wrong, because sometimes the bus can be late. We're just saying scenario. Work with me. When she didn't walk in that door, it started getting dark, 9, 10 o'clock. Okay, where's Naziah? Something's wrong. A mother has intuition if something's wrong with her child. Because by then you're her mother. You've been raising Naziah since she was very, very young. So you know her. You've seen things. As a mother, I feel like you knew she was pregnant. Let me tell you how I know. Because I know when I was a teenager and I started my cycle, my mother knew when to buy me pads. My mother knew when my cycle came on before I did because she knew me. She knew my body. She knew when my cycle came on because she bought my pads. When Naziah did not come to you, or when you did not come to her and say, hey, you need no pads this month? This girl was months pregnant when she passed away. Follow me. Because y'all were running around saying she fast. Go look at Facebook chats, child. The aunt was calling her fast, and so was the grandma. So if you know this, why did you not report something? I feel like they knew she was pregnant. I feel like something was wrong, because if you don't get your cycle, something's wrong. Plus, Naziah had been going back and forth to the doctor for other things. So why was this not caught prior? This girl was at school trying to figure out how she was going to operate in PE, telling Jarvis, I can't even, I'm going to get an F because my PE teachers are telling me I got to run, I got to do this, and it's starting to get hard with this baby in me. School officials, I ain't say shit. Because y'all know in PE, I was in school, you had to dress down in PE short shirt. Can't wear no damn, they don't want you in no hoodie because you're running, you jumping, you doing all types of stuff in PE. Let's get back to this grandma and this aunt. Shannon lived with the grandmother in the same house that Naziah grew up in. Neither one of these hoes thought to say, you ain't need no pads this month, you ain't have no period this month. Next month come around, you don't need no pads this month. Or Naziah, you didn't come to me for no pads. What's going on? Y'all failed this girl. Y'all saw Jarvis coming over there. Y'all saw Jarvis dropping her off. I think the aunt knew some shit. Jarvis lied to her, and her intuition kicked in and told her that something else was going on, and she didn't give a fuck about it. She didn't turn Jarvis in because she is baby mama, and she thought, well, Jarvis giving me a little money here and there. He ain't on no child support. He working down here at the shop, and he giving me whatever he can give me for these kids. So I ain't going to turn him in because I'm relying on said money that he's giving me per month for these 5 kids. And if he go to jail, how I'm going to pay my bills? That's how these hoes in the hood be thinking. That's why he won't turn in when you found out some shit was going on. Because keep in mind, King, who worked at the shop, said at 7:30 p.m., Naziah was still with this fool. Still with him. And you still had to go drop off a car. So Naziah didn't get home until probably 9, 10 o'clock when she got to get up early in the morning to go to school. Keep in mind, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, he was texting her while she was supposed to have been asleep to get up in the morning for school the next day. She had 2 iPads, I'm hearing. One, which was school issued, a school iPad that was issued to her. They found pictures on that same iPad where she was taking like selfies or whatever. Y'all know that's what kids do. They always taking pictures. She also had a personal iPad at which they said the grandmother and the aunt would plug up for her or take from her, like when she, missed curfew or, act up. That was a form of punishment. So you can't tell me that you did not look into this iPad at some point in time or see some inappropriate stuff on this damn iPad. Or maybe you didn't care to look through it. You didn't notice that her behavior was a little off and or different. You didn't notice with her being pregnant, maybe her face is starting to fill out. She's starting to fill out in her midsection. You didn't notice she was probably sick. Some people have morning sickness when they're pregnant. I had it bad. The first 3 months, I was sick as a dog, throwing up. All women that get pregnant, everybody's pregnancy is different, but she's a child, keep in mind. Naziah was a small, little bitty something. You didn't notice her cravings were off? Think about this shit, y'all. I'm thinking about all this. I said, how do they miss this as 2 grown-ass women staying in the house? Mama, you raised 7, 8 children, so you know how children are. You parented 7, 8 children, one of which was Naziah's own mother. Let's move from this. All right, let's play this next clip. We're gonna get off this in a minute because I don't want y'all to get bored off this topic, but I'm just really trying to let's get into it.
It's been nearly a year since the disappearance of 13-year-old Naziah Harris. Her body has never been found, but 42-year-old Jarvis Butts is accused of sexually assaulting her and killing her.
I'm sorry. Make this motherfucker take this mask off. Ain't nobody else in court got on a mask but him. This nigga act like he's scared of COVID. You should be scared of that time. I'm just saying. Every time he come to court, I notice he be scrunching down, trying to hide behind his attorneys because he don't want a camera on him because the nigga's embarrassed for the shit he's done. So now every time he come in court, he got this mask on, pulled up like he's scared of COVID. Nigga, take this mask off. Show your face like you showed your face when you were being a pedo with these children that your ass was running around here with. That part pissed me off. If I was the judge, I'd say, nigga, take that mask off in my court. Do you see anybody else in here with a mask on? You scared of COVID, but you won't scared of STDs that your ass was spreading? Running around here not obviously using protection because you have 13 children by many different women all over Detroit. And probably the surrounding area. Let's get into this shit.
I saw Naziah.
That's Jarvis's sister talking about when she saw Naziah. Let's get into it.
She witnessed.
Tijuana Butts is the defendant's sister.
I kept seeing a little girl get in and out of his truck, going to the gas station and going back to his car.
Butts testifying she had stopped by her brother's auto shop on the east side for him to look at her car when she spotted a girl she didn't recognize. Jarvis told her it was his business partner's niece.
I just remember her having on a colorful jacket.
Butts says she didn't think much of it until later. This is a photo of Harris on her bus the day she disappeared in that jacket. Butts getting emotional as she testified about suspecting her brother. Jarvis Butts was already a convicted sex offender. Records show he had spent nearly 10 years in prison for sexually assaulting a teenager. In this case, prosecutors say Jarvis Butts has several children with Naziah's aunt and was secretly preying on Naziah, grooming her, even getting her pregnant, and then killing her.
Was he a secretive person to you?
Now, this is the person on my screen that I told y'all about. And during her testimony, she kept getting irritated with prosecutors asking her questions about this case and about Jarvis. Jarvis used her car. This is the one that had the Nissan Altima that she said Jarvis came to her, never ever asked her before to use her car because he has a car. She loaned her car to Jarvis. This is the one. Listen to her testimony.
Yeah.
Yes, he's very secretive.
Latricia Johnson has one child with Jarvis Butts. She testified Butts borrowed her car on January 9th of 2024, the day Naziah Harris disappeared.
He called and asked if he can use my car to do something with his son.
Was this normal, abnormal?
No, not normal.
Johnson testifying when he brought her car back the next day, Jarvis Butts had left something in the back seat, something believed to belong to Naziah Harris.
There was a pair of glasses that was left that my son was playing with.
Pause. If you look on Naziah's Instagram page, which I've been over there, those same glasses is on there. Several pictures of her with those glasses on. Several pictures of this girl with them same glasses on. Let's continue.
They were very clear and they were on my son's face. So I told him to take them off. When he take them off, he came to me. Oh, Jarvis said, "Oh, those are my sunglasses," and he snatches it from my hand.
Other evidence.
So she's saying Jarvis told her that the glasses belonged to one of his other sons because her son had the glasses on and came up to her. And she told her son to take the glasses off. And she said she asked Jarvis about the glasses. He said, "That's my son's glasses." Not her son, but his other son, because you know he got only 12 other kids.
Evidence on this day, clothing discovered in a search near the Rouge River believed to have been dumped by Jarvis Butts.
We collected a pink jumpsuit, bodysuit style, and then a black hoodie that had a pair of white headphones in one of the pockets, some gloves, a towel, and a pair of red, black, and white gym shoes.
It's been nearly a year since the disappearance of 13-year-old Naziah Harris.
Everybody around this girl, I feel like, knew something. And the fact that you said, "Oh, yeah, that was not normal. That seemed a little weird that he asked me," but you didn't think nothing else of it. And he asked you, "Can he take your son?" So my question is, was the son there when you disposed of this child? Where did you drop this son off when you asked her to use the car to take their son somewhere, because that's around the same time that they're saying that particular day was when Naziah was said to be missing. So where was this son when whatever happened to Naziah? Did he see something? Because he was said to be in the car with Jarvis on the same day that Naziah was said to go missing, and her glasses were left in the back seat of the car. What's going on here? I think she knows more than she's saying, but she's protecting Jarvis. Why? Because she's baby mama. Jarvis giving you money every month. You don't want to mess up that cash flow, so you ain't say nothing to the police. Plus, he probably threatened you because he is violent, obviously, if he unalived a 13-year-old girl. If you listen to different phone calls from jail, because that's the same bitch that was running around starting a GoFundMe, let's talk about it, a GoFundMe, and was using the funds to put money on Jarvis's books. Did y'all know about that? Jarvis just had a birthday at which she had some type of celebration for him outside of jail while he's locked up in his honor. So you're hearing all these testimonies, you're hearing all these things, and the possibility that this man that you call baby daddy that went out here and was messing with young girls and was inappropriate with Naziah Harris, to where he allegedly impregnated her and then unalived this girl. So you're still protecting this man. You're still taking up GoFundMes like you're supporting him, putting money on his books. And even when as far as using GoFundMe money that you took up for him to have some type of celebration for him. What are you celebrating? He's a pedo. What are you celebrating? Whoever gave to the GoFundMe, their asses need to be locked up. So girlfriend that they just showed with Denise, I need to be locked up. Grandma need to be locked up. Aunt Shannon ass need to be locked up. Sister need to be looked into as well, because you said you did not know this girl when you saw her, and you saw her getting in and out of this car. And when you asked the shop owner who it was or something, or asked Jarvis who it was, he said that it was the shop owner's niece, when Jarvis been running around saying Naziah was his niece. You're not her uncle. You just date her aunt and they had 5 kids. But let's continue, child. Because now the public is asking for Aunt and Shannon's ass and other family members to be locked up. Did y'all know that? We about to get off that, y'all. I sound like a pastor, don't I? We about to move on here in a second. All right. Let's get into this last thing with that, and then we're gonna move on. So much to uncover, y'all. There's so much to uncover. This shit is so fucking crazy. All right, so social users is coming up, guys. StreamYard is kind of slow. It's a little delayed, but let's get into it. Social users call for the arrest of Naziah Harris's aunt and grandmother after jury rules that the aunt's boyfriend will stand trial for Naziah's sexual assault and unaliving. Boyfriend has previous RAPE charges, or R-word charges rather, including one where he gave a 4-year-old. You guys can see it on my screen. Okay. Yeah. All right, these are the text messages. I'm going to try to read as much as I can without it being too graphic, all right? Just so that you can see the conversations that were had between this 41-year-old and 13-year-old Naziah. On September 27th of 2022, Harris, which is Naziah, says, "Come on." Harris, which is also Naziah, says, "You okay?" She's talking to him. He hadn't responded yet. She then says to him, Where are we doing it at? Your choice. This is what she's saying to him. So Jarvis then says, "You tell me." Naziah says, "In the basement." That means at the grandma house. So then Naziah then says, "You sure?" Naziah then says, "Or at the job," meaning at the shop. Butts then said, "Can you please give him oral pleasure?" All right. Jarvis then says to Naziah, "And make sure you erase the messages," which says to me, you already knew what you were doing and it was wrong, because why would she need to delete any messages, which they still pull that shit, and now that's why your ass is locked the fuck up. Let's continue. Naziah then says to him, "Okay, that is what I plan to do." June 5th of 2022, Jarvis then says, "I'm at your house," talking to Naziah. Naziah then says, "Damn, we were just there." So it sounds like he is propositioning her for another interaction. Harris, which is Naziah, says, "You bet not be in my room." And Naziah then says to him, "I need another phone." Naziah then says to him, I miss you. Jarvis then says to Naziah, I stole your panties. I'm sorry, y'all. June 24th of 2023, the conversations continue. Jarvis then says, send me some pictures, please. Naziah says, don't you still got the other pictures I sent you? Jarvis then says, no. Naziah says, I will send some. Let's continue. June 27th of 2023, Jarvis says to her, are you undressed yet? Naziah says, no, I don't want to be undressed. Are you mad that I did not get undressed? Jarvis then says that I'm used to you telling me no. Naziah then says, come on, bae. She's called him bae. I'm sorry, just not in the mood right now. I'm sorry. September 26th of 2023, Naziah says, bae, you up? She then says question marks because he did not respond. She says, then, yeah, I'm not sure what that means because he didn't say anything. Naziah then says, my period has not come on at all. Naziah then says, hello, are you there? Jarvis then says, what do you mean? Naziah then says, it did not come on or had not came, meaning that her period did not come on yet. Jarvis then says to Naziah, since when? Naziah says back to him, since I was in the hospital. So my thing is, you've been having hospital and doctor visits. Nobody knew that you were pregnant. Nobody knew that there was something off. Because if they take blood work, they can tell that something is off or that you're pregnant. Okay, let's continue. Jarvis then says to Naziah, that was last month. When she says since when he asked her since when, she said since I was in the hospital. Jarvis says since last month. Naziah says, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I have to go to the doctor tomorrow. Jarvis then says, you said that you took a pregnancy test and it was negative. Naziah says back to him, I did. Jarvis said, so get another one. Naziah says, I can't. I don't have no money. Mind you, she's 13 in school. Where would she get money from? She don't have a fucking job. Naziah also says to him, you go get one. Naziah says to him, you ain't scared to get a plan B, says get a pregnancy test and bring it later today. Just act like you have to use the bathroom. So Naziah, then she sounds like she's begging him in these text messages because she puts PLS, which we know that means please. Naziah hits him back again. Will you do it? So it sounds like she's in some type of desperation because these are text messages back and forth to him, back to back. Okay, so she's begging him, will you do it? Question mark. She sounds very desperate. She's scared. November 27th of 2023. Harris, which is Naziah, says that I just want to talk. I really don't want to lose you. Naziah then also says to him, can we talk later? Yes or no? Sound just like a child. Yes or no? Check yes or no. Naziah says to him, I don't, what your problem is. I think she said, I don't know what your problem is, but I need you to bring me what I need tonight. She says, it's hard doing all this gym-ish with this baby. And if I don't do them, I'm going to get a F. This is what she's saying to him. January the 9th, 2024, there says that this is the final text message or text exchange between Butts and Harris, which is Naziah, before she went missing. So once she's telling him about this baby situation, obviously he didn't bring her a plan B or whatever, he starts to get scared. All right. She says to him, don't forget, be there before 3. I will let you know when I'm leaving the school. If you're not there, I will wait. All right. He didn't say anything. She hit him back again and said, send okay if you see the message so I can delete your number. So obviously he's groomed her, he's trained her of what to do when they are talking back and forth in conversations, because they're inappropriate, and she knows to delete said conversations when they talk. But then replies to her, which is Jarvis, saying okay. All right. Now this says that the aunt who testified that she never saw anything inappropriate between Jarvis and Naziah said that she had this to say after social users noticed a lock on her refrigerator in one of her pictures. This person says that since you all seem, this is the aunt, okay, Shannon, the crazy one I told you about. Shannon says, since you all seem to be struggling with the concept, let me help clarify. Says by state law, personal refrigerators can have locks and chains as long as children can have access to their fridge at all times. Good morning. So she's trying to get smart. This is Shannon again, says that my niece would be home if only I knew her location. But one thing for sure, don't try to malign my reputation by painting an untrue picture of who I am. All right. Shannon, that's Shannon, the one that had on the purple. All right, so this person says that why they said Naziah aunt used her GoFundMe money to put money on Jarvis's books and threw a party for his birthday. Oh, that's so disgusting. This next person says, reading up on this Naziah case, and it breaks my heart. Both her aunt and her grandmother failed her. They practically handed that little girl to this molesting demon on a silver platter and did. Says that I know that vengeance is yours, God, but people like that don't deserve to breathe, okay? All right. Ooh, child. All right, so it says that Naziah's grandmother failed her the most, 100. Says that grandmothers are supposed to protect you from all harm. This lady didn't give a flying F about her granddaughter. This goes on to say, this next person says that crazy because her grandmother had her first child at 11. Y'all hear this? She had 7 children altogether. One of them being Naziah's mom, as I told you guys. Naziah's mom had her at 13 years old, the product of her mom being with a married man. I forgot about that part. Y'all hear that? So Naziah's mother had Naziah by a married man. Y'all hear that shit? Damn, Ariane Jr. That's Ariane Jr. I'm going to read it one more time. Naziah's mother had her at 13 years old, the product of a mom being with a married man. So she, at 13 years old, also was violated by a grown adult, which was a married man, also a pedo. Do y'all see a pattern of behavior here? Naziah was born, Naziah's dad was a married man who was also a pedo, and she lost her life to a grown man who's also a pedo. Ain't that crazy? It says that it seemed like she didn't have a chance, to be honest. She did not. That's some sick shit. These are the last pictures seen of Naziah. Okay, Detroit Public Schools Community District Police Department. This is the last known picture before she got off the bus to meet Jarvis. Jarvis did not, they were saying, respond quickly back to her because he was putting together a plan to get rid of this baby. You guys know that he tried to perform a AB on her himself. He ain't no fucking doctor. They also retrieved his phone and a computer system that he was using where he had Googled how to get rid of a child, about Plan Bs, and also about some red antifreeze. So he was going to probably try to make her drink some damn antifreeze to try to get rid of this baby. So he was coming up with different ways to get rid of that. So whenever she texted him about her having issues at school with the baby being in the way of her being able to successfully complete gym, or she's gonna get an F, he then says, shit, I gotta do something about this because this is going on far enough. So this is the last seen picture of Naziah before she got off the bus that day, before her life was taken by Jarvis. This is her down here in class, of course. Of course, they're saying that's just her birthday information. This is just showing what she had on last seen on the 9th, which was when we saw that conversation taking place where she's asking him, please pick me up at such and such location, at which he did. And we have not heard or seen from her since then. All right. So if you guys know anything, if you live in that area, please call 313-748-6000. Okay. I'm going to put that number in my chat because I want you guys, if you guys live in that area, let me do that. If you guys know anything, and I know it's been a minute, they still have not located her body. If you guys hear something, okay, that's the Garner Police Department. Okay. Detective, that's for, they said, if you see her, please contact Detective Garner. They're saying that they believe that she is no longer alive, but I'm gonna put that in my chat here in a second, okay? Let's go ahead and read up on what this is saying, because they're asking that the grandmother and the aunt, which is Shannon, be arrested. A Michigan judge has ruled that Jarvis Butts, who is 42, will stand trial for the disappearance of the unaliving of 13-year-old Naziah Harris, who went missing on January the 9th of 2024. Said that Butts, who was in a relationship with Naziah's aunt, had 5 children with her and is accused of grooming and harming the young girl. So the prosecutors say Naziah texted Butts from school to arrange a meeting. Surveillance footage shows her leaving school and heading to Butts' auto shop. Says that her clothes found near Detroit's Rouge River the day after she vanished showed signs of a struggle. I told you guys that. Butts' phone was traced to the same area. Investigators discovered concerning internet searches on Butts' devices, along with sexual messages exchanged with Naziah. The searches were about how to terminate a pregnancy. Witnesses testified about inappropriate behavior and past incidents involving Naziah and Butts. Naziah's aunt, Shannon Harris, testified that she did not suspect anything beyond a normal uncle and niece bond between Butts and Naziah. That's a fucking lie. Protecting him, she need to be locked up. They said that Butts also had been charged with the sexual abuse of 2 other girls in separate cases, including one where he gave his ex-girlfriend's 4-year-old daughter, which I told you guys, Midia, started with a C. It says that Naziah was being raised by her grandmother and aunt due to her mother's alleged drug addiction. Social media users are demanding that others who may have known about the situation be held accountable. So they're asking that the grandmother and Aunt Shannon and other people involved in this situation or may have known about it be also locked up because they hid information and did not report it in the proper time or at any time to the police. And the fact that the grandmother waited 2 days to report her missing, they feel like that the grandmother may have known that Jarvis may have done something to this girl by way of Shannon, who was the girlfriend of Jarvis, who had 5 children by Jarvis. They felt that she knew something as well. They were trying to help cover up what it was and or get their stories together. And 2 days later, they reported this, not to the police, mind you, because from what I was reading, they didn't even call the police. They reported it to the school that she was missing. The school reported to the school reported to the police. Let me say that again. The grandmother did not call the police. The grandmother called the school to say that that Naziah was missing. The school then contacted police to let them know. A police officer then came to the school to do their investigations and start their search for Naziah. Okay, y'all. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Troubling. So, do I agree that she should be locked up? Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. So let's move on. Let's get off of this because, baby, this is weighing on my spirit. Let me pray. All right, let's get that out of my spirit. Let's move on to some love marriage Huntsville stuff. Destiny Payton, child. Let's get into this. Y'all can put in the topics. Y'all can put in the comments what you guys feel about this. I tried to give you guys as much information that I have now. We will continue to talk about it and give you guys updates as I get them. All right. This case is getting ready to be ongoing. The trial is getting ready to start. I will be giving you guys very detailed information as much as I can, as detailed as I can as this continues. Okay, let's get into some Destiny news. Destiny is still out here scratching and surviving. She's still doing relaunches rather for her Madani event. It says that Destiny is continuing her education online at Spelman University. She wants to be more involved with her products. So she is now trying to go back to school and she's getting gear with Spelman. She's selling gear, Spelman gear, you guys, as part of her next come up. It looks like she's trying to monetize from selling some Spelman gear because she says she's going back to school. Here we go. I guess shout out to her fan page, child. That's where I saw it. So she's getting gear and putting Spelman College on it, and she's selling that to monetize from it. Can you do that? I didn't know you could do that. Like, damn, you ain't even went to school yet, and you already out here trying to. This girl will find a way to make some money. I got to give it to Destiny. Destiny will find a way to make some money. She's a hustler for real. She's a damn hustler for real. Destiny gonna find a way to make some damn money. Shout out to Brown Skin Girl. Thanks for being here. She is a content creator. Y'all check her out. She is a part of the what is it? I forget the damn. Y'all help me. Y'all know my brain is going 1,000 miles a minute. Gossip Girls, okay? Gossip Girls. She is a part of the Gossip Girls over there, honey, with Tay Talks and drop the mic. All right, so you guys check them out over there. They are very much so. This is Caramel. Can we do a watch along on the trial with you? Yeah, I may cover the trial. I definitely may, but I have to be careful because some of the things that they're speaking of may be against YouTube's. We got to be real. But I will. I'll cover the trial just because y'all asked me to, because I will be watching. All right. Shout out to the Gossip Girl. Shout out to Brown Skin Girl. Y'all follow her. Y'all go over there because she does have a lot of great content as well. All right, love them down. All right, but Destiny Child, here she is, finding another way to make money. I told you guys it's rumored that she will not be back for next season of Love and Marriage Huntsville, so she's trying to get her coin up. She said, child, let me go back to school versus getting a job like everybody else who ain't got no damn money. So she's coming up with a different way to make money, and she's using the fact that she's going back to Spelman, probably online too, like Tisha, and she's selling merch with Spelman on the merch, okay? So you seen it right here. You saw it right here on my damn channel, all right? That thing will always come up with a way to make some money. Let's move on to another topic we got to spin the block on because there is an update on that. Y'all remember when we covered this topic about the two white individuals, this couple who adopted these black kids and they were enslaving them. You guys remember that? Y'all remember we talked about that? They found the kids locked up in these sheds outside of this white couple's home. You guys remember us talking about that? Now, their trial actually starts, all right? It says that the trial actually starts for the white couple accused of adopting black children and forcing them to work as slaves. Y'all remember we talked about this? Let's get into it because their trial is starting or has started.
Hey, Tim, both Jean Whitefeather and Donald Lance were charged in connection with a child neglect case where two children were found locked inside of a shed and another child was found in dangerous conditions. Now, Donald Lance waived his preliminary hearing today, but we did see Jean Whitefeather in court for the first time since her arrest.
Kanawha County's assistant prosecuting attorney, Deborah Rusnak, spoke about the testimony involving Whitefeather's case.
You heard the testimony today. What these children were going through is frankly horrifying and despicable. There's no other way to describe it.
On the stand, the deputy that responded to the call on October 2nd described the shed where she found two children locked inside at Whitefeather's preliminary hearing.
And one of them replied, "Ma'am, I'm unable to open the door from the inside."
Deputy H.K. Burdett describes what she says it looked like inside the shed.
I was repulsed, for the lack of a better term. As soon as the door was open, the heat from inside hit us. The smell it made my eyes water.
Burdett says in her testimony that the oldest child told her she lived in the shed.
There was a table and one chair, no running water, no circulating air, no beds. The toilet for the children looked like a hospital pan or like a camping toilet.
Burdett said she found 6 to 7 deep freezers of food in a section of the barn that could not be accessed, and she spotted a third child in dangerous conditions in the window of the home.
I don't believe there was any circulating air in the house either. It was a very nice house. There was hardly furniture in it. Very hot, very, very empty.
I attempted to speak with the defense, but we were not able to talk to them in the courtroom. Judge Leslie Grace denied a request for Whitefeather's bail reduction. Bail is still set at $200,000 with the addition of home confinement.
I'm sorry. Why the fuck do they get a bail after you've seen this shit here? Why do they get a bail? Why? The system continues. That's what pisses me off with the system. In situations like this, they should not be out to do anything. They shouldn't be out, period. There should not be a bond, bail, none of that shit for them. They need to sit their ass in jail until this damn trial is over. The conditions that you saw these children in, one of which was probably about to be out of here, child, by being so damn hot. Mind you, when they found these children, it was the middle of summer. So imagine being in a hot ass shed in the middle of summer, no heat or no air circulating. You don't have no food, so you're dehydrated, you're hungry, you're malnourished, probably sick from infestations and everything else. You don't have a proper bathroom to use. What the fuck is going on with the system? Let's continue. I ain't ready to holler.
Donald Lance, who was also charged in connection with neglect of the 3 children, waived a preliminary hearing.
And both of them are where they need to be pending the trial of this matter.
Hey, Tim, both Jean White.
Look at the faces of these two fools right here. So they adopted these black kids with the intentions of enslaving them. And that's exactly what the fuck they did. Now, they lived in a nice home, according to what the officer said on the stand. Said the house was really nice that they lived in, but there was no air circulating up in there. And there was a third child inside the house. Well, it wasn't in the shed. I think it was in the shed. So they put all the kids out in the shed. They stayed in a nice house. Okay. I don't know what mentality they got. It's crazy. Obviously, they in the 1913s. Okay. So the children are not allowed to be in the home. They stayed in the house and put the kids out in the shed. These motherfuckers need to be under the jail. I'm sorry. Under the jail. And the fact that they were even getting a bond of $200,000, bitch, no. They should be also convicted of attempted unaliving, because that's definitely what you guys were doing. That's the worst case of child abuse right there. I ain't gonna even hold you. When I saw that case, when I first talked about this shit, pissed me off. I'm glad that there's a trial, and I hope that they get the maximum amount of sentence that the time that they can get, because they do not need to see the light of day anymore. They don't never need to be free ever. They should not be around children ever. And the way this fool on my screen looked, I wouldn't put it past the fact that he might have been inappropriate with some of those children. It gives that. It gives that y'all didn't just stop with trying to enslave them. It gives that his ass probably was doing some inappropriate shit with those kids, locking them up in that damn shed and doing that shit to them. I really believe that. And I'm going to say allegedly because we can't prove it just yet. I want to hear the testimonies of these children, because it sounds like the oldest one. It sounds like that oldest one can be on the stand and talk about what they endured and or saw and experienced by these two fools right here on my screen. Oh my God. Y'all. We are definitely living in the last days. Do y'all hear me? We are living in the last days. These things are so unheard of. When I look at people like this, I'll be like, where the fuck do y'all come from? What world do y'all come from? Like, this is some evil shit beyond evil. This is demonic shit. When we see stuff like Jarvis Butts and these two people on my screen right here, this is beyond evil. This is some satanic bullshit. Like, oh Lord, let's get a child. Get off my screen, child. Because I'm gonna get the cussing, and I'm trying, child. I gotta get saved again after today. After these topics today, I gotta go get saved again. What is it now? I done saved about 13 times this year. And what's the date? The 17th, child. Lord have mercy. Let's move on, child. Today ain't nothing but the 17th, child. I've been saved about 13 times this year. I done told y'all. Child, y'all know these topics. I get the cussing, I get mad. Let's move on past the child. Because they child. All right, so let's get into the next topic, into some lighter news. All right, so Nene Leakes reflects on how she helped Kim Zolciak land a spot on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, let's talk about it though.
Because they wanted the ensemble to be a group of women that knew each other. And so it was organic to bring Sheree into the circle, because she was really a friend of mine. And at this time, the producers were like, I'm trying to build this show around this girl, Nene Leakes, that we just interviewed in Atlanta, Georgia. So living in Sugarloaf, Kim Zolciak, which is the white girl with the blonde wig, she lived on Sugarloaf Country Club. My oldest son was going to an elementary school in the neighborhood that her daughter, Brielle, who a lot of you guys know, they were going to the same elementary school. And she and I would see this white girl, this blonde wig on, smoking a cigarette, and I thought she was so interesting. And come to find out, she and I were training with the same trainer in Duluth at this gym, and she's the only girl. Back then they used to have these velour sweatsuits that said Juicy on the back, Juicy Couture. I remember the velour one, and she used to have every color. And you know, back then I thought they were expensive, and I was like, gosh, she got every color of the Juicy Couture. And she would pull up in this BMW, and I'd be like, she's so fly. And then that fool had the nerve to get on the treadmill and have a cigarette. And I'd never seen anybody do that before. So I was really drawn to her.
Are you guys like cordial? cordial now?
Today we are cordial. And I would see her and I told them, I said, now I don't know if y'all gonna like this, but I know this white girl named Kim Zolciak. And they were like, no, this is gonna be an all African-American cast. And I said, you guys really should meet this white girl.
Her.
Listen, honey.
So they didn't want no Becky's on Real Housewives of Atlanta when Nene was on there. That's weird. So Nene fought for Kim to be on it and they wound up falling out. That's weird, ain't it?
Me, I said, you guys need to talk to this white girl and see what you think. And they met her. She wasn't in there with them 10 minutes and they said, done.
So you closed a lot of the deals.
Not only was I a cast member, I was a casting director. Because they wanted the ensemble to be a group of women that knew each other. And so it was organic to bring Sheree into the circle because she...
I'm sorry, organic? Is that a word? Okay.
Was really a friend of mine. And at this time, the producers were like, I'm trying to build this show around this girl, Nene Leakes, that we just interviewed in Atlanta, Georgia. So living in Sugarloaf, Kim Zolciak.
We heard that. So y'all hear how Nene went about saying that she fought for Kim to be on the show. They didn't want no Becky's. They didn't want no white women on the show. They wanted to be an all-black cast, okay? So I ain't gonna hold you. Kim is good TV. All right. She get on my damn nerves sometimes. She is a little racist, but Kim is good TV. You got to admit that. She did kind of mesh well with the other girls, and she did keep some drama up. That whole with her trying to do that whole tardy for the party bullshit with Candy, which then sparked her and Nene to fall out because Nene was supposed to be on the song. Y'all remember that whole situation. But child, I ain't gonna hold you. I do think that Nene should be back on the show because it's been struggling for several seasons now for ratings about with her not being on the show since she filed that lawsuit against Bravo. So there have been whispers of Nene talking about her fixing things with Bravo and NBC Universal, which is also through Bravo. Or Real Housewives of Atlanta, actually. It's been rumors and whispers about Nene possibly joining the show again. So that could be, I guess, a good thing. I know before she said that she doesn't have a desire to be back on the show. I was like, girl, lies. You were the highest paid housewife on this damn show. You were getting paid more than everybody before you wound up leaving. And then Candy was bumped up to be the highest paid housewife. So now that you're gone, now that Candy's gone, now it's Portia. Portia's the highest paid, and I think Kim's been trying to get back on the show since then, but Bravo ain't really checking for her right now. So I don't know. She don't have that pool where anybody's speaking up for her to be on the show because she really doesn't have an alliance on the show anymore now that Sheree is gone, because, you know, she and Sheree were friends. So I don't see Portia speaking up for her. I don't see Drew speaking up for her. I mean, hell, Drew and Phaedra, they're actually going back and forth. So I don't know. Maybe Nene will come back to the show. But for now, she is doing this damn podcast with Sierra Gates, which I was like, Lord, Nene, why? But I don't know. I saw somebody in my in the chat that was saying that they actually watched it and it was really good. I have not had a chance to watch it except for this clip right here. But you guys can put in there what you guys think. Would you guys, again, I asked the other day, would y'all like to see Nene come back on Real Housewives of Atlanta? I think that would be very good for them because it was always a great dynamic with Nene, with Portia, also with Phaedra. Do I want to see Sheree come back? Hell, fuck no, because she never had nothing to talk about. And of course, Drew, I guess Drew is on there now. Candy, I don't really care back and forth with Candy being on there because she didn't really bring nothing. It was boring with her and Todd being on there. I was tired of that whole storyline with her talking about Mama Joyce, and I was sick of that shit. So anywho and anyway, that's how I feel about that topic. Let's move on. We ain't got to stay on that, child. What time is it? 9:30. Okay. All right. So let's spin the block on the topic. We talked about the Braxton daughter, which is Michael Braxton's daughter. Shout out to the 712 watching. All right, y'all. We talked about Michael Braxton, which is the Braxtons, Tony Braxton and Tamar Braxton and them, they brother. Michael Braxton Jr.'s daughter, Ashley Braxton. You guys know that she spoke about some inappropriate behaviors that happened with one of her sister's husbands. She did not name which one. So I'm going to say process of elimination is probably not Tamar, because she said that Tamar has offered her a safe space to tell her story after her father has threatened to silence her. Now, I told you guys the other day when we covered this that Michael Braxton, which is Ashley Braxton's father, threatened to sue her and make her have to sign like some type of like an NDA or threatened her with a cease and desist to keep her quiet because she was telling family secrets. And she talked about maybe a violation that may have happened to her. And she talked about Michael Braxton's ex-wife, who obviously had something to do with something that she's talking about. Well, Ashley's been trying to tell her story. She's moved out of the country. I think she was staying in Japan. And she has flown back to the States. And she said now that Tamar reached out to her because Tamar has some type of platform or podcast or whatever. She's saying that Tamar has offered her to come over there to tell her story. So it sounds like Tamar is in favor of her sharing what happened to her. So I'm going to say process of elimination. The person that it might have been, I'm going to say Gabe. I think it might have been Gabe that may have done something inappropriate. Gabe is no longer here. You guys remember Gabe passed away from cancer, stage 3. I think he had stage 3 cancer by the time he found out that he was sick like that. And he passed away very shortly thereafter. They made the announcement that he was sick. But let's get into what Ashley Braxton had to say.
Hey, you guys. All right, I'm coming to the U.S.
Don't she look like Tawanda?
I know. And I'm coming to the U.S.
I know.
January 28th to Atlanta to do Tamar's live podcast show. Now, before anyone says anything, please let it be known and let it be clear that as I am in this journey and in this process, and as I'm healing and like trying to understand all of this stuff, that it feels really good to have a family member behind me, okay? So please, before anyone says anything, like, let me have that. It's been a really long journey, and it's been a really long journey and not happy.
I'm sorry, guys. Can we get these likes up, though? We got 370 likes and over 700 people watching, 734 watching. Can we get the likes up? Did everybody hit the like button? Obviously, they did not. We have some great conversations in our tea being spilled over here on this channel today. Can we please go ahead and support the video by hitting the like button? You guys know I do not ask for cash apps and or super stickers unless you guys want to give those, but I do appreciate you guys hitting the like button, which is free. I said before, if you hit the like button, there's no money that comes out of your account. It's totally free. So please go ahead and hit that like button to support the channel, and let's get the likes up for this great information. All right, let's go.
Having people behind me. It's been a long journey of people not believing me. It's been a long journey of what do I even say? How do I say it? It's been such a long journey. So no one also owes me anything in this, but the fact that she supported me from the jump, the fact that she, you know, I also just couldn't just leave. I couldn't just, I live in Spain. I can't just get up and leave. So she also just made it so accommodating, herself, her team, for me to be there, for me to just have, she told me that I can say whatever it is that I want to say. It is she just supports. And that right there already feels really nice. It's really not anyone's job to like be there, but just the fact that she is really cool. And I know that I decided to leave the US. I decided to move across the world. I also just, you know, that's just my personality, who I am. And so it's not easy for everybody to always be there and always be supportive, but just the fact that she's doing this, for me, it's a lot. I appreciate it, and it says so much.
That is very big of Tamar to do. And the fact that you told her that she can say whatever she wants, meaning that she can be as transparent as she needs to be to get whatever this is that's in her out so that she can start her healing process. Obviously, she's carried this for a while because this particular situation happened when she was a child. She's a grown-ass adult now. I think she said this is over 16 years ago. So that's a long time to carry that type of pain where someone may have violated you and then tried to blame you. I see someone putting it in my comments saying that y'all might feel that it could have been Tawanda's ex-husband, Andre. That could be. Now that I think about it too, we could throw him in there because Andre did give weird vibes. So it could have been Andre. I was saying Gabe because Gabe was kind of over sexualized as well in terms of what I saw on the show. But we'll see what she says because she's saying that Tamar has opened up her platform for her to come on there and to say whatever she needs to say. Now, I don't know how that's going to hurt the relationship between she and Michael Braxton Jr. because she and Michael are very close. Tamar and Michael are very close. So I don't know how Michael is going to feel about Tamar inviting his daughter to come onto her podcast and speak on a situation when he's asked her to be quiet, and also have tried to get the courts involved in terms of trying to serve his daughter with a whole cease and desist. So how is that going to change the dynamic of he and Tamar's relationship as brother and sister, and having a close, bond or whatever, being that Tamar is stepping up to help this same daughter who this brother has asked to be quiet? That's weird. I don't know. It says Ashley Braxton shares her aunt Tamar extended her platform to Ashley to tell her story, despite Michael Braxton Jr. threatening her with legal action if she does not stop talking and sharing the family's business. Could there be something that she's going to say about her father that he doesn't want out there? Because you are fighting very hard, sir, to keep her quiet. I would think as her father, if she's going through something very traumatic, you would want her to talk about that. But it gives that you don't want her to maybe talk about it because your name might be popping up in some of these situations, allegedly. I don't know. But it gives that when a person is always trying to keep you from talking about something, 9 times out of 10, it might have something to do with them. I'm just saying. That's from what I've seen. You want me to be quiet about something that I'm talking about, that I'm telling you that hurts me and that has hurt me, and it might be this secret that I've carried for a very, very long time. The only reason that you would want me to be quiet is if maybe your name may be attached to said secret. And Tamar, I gotta applaud you, Tamar. I like you only when you're singing, not when you're talking, because you are a handful as well. But I do applaud her for allowing your niece to come and spill whatever it is that's on her heart and in her spirit that she's carried for this time. And Michael Braxton, fuck you. Okay, I'm sorry. You should not be telling your daughter to be quiet. I don't give a hot damn who is going to expose whoever. So y'all looking in terms of reputation and money. I get it. He's a nurse. He's a man nurse. I get all that. But this is your daughter, your birth child. You already lost a daughter who was sick. Y'all remember one of his daughters passed away. Now this daughter is dealing with something so much so that it was embarrassing for her. She done moved out of the whole damn country living in Spain. So she done flew her ass back from Spain back to the U.S. to do this damn podcast. And I hope this gives her the solace that she needs. I hope this gives her the answers that she needs to be able to talk about this publicly. And if Michael Braxton comes after her and threaten her with any type of legal action after that, his ass needs to be looked into, because it gives, because y'all know all families have family secrets. Okay. All families have family secrets. Could the person she be talking about be her father? I don't know. I'm going to say allegedly, hypothetically, and maybe, but we're going to see. I'm going to wait for this podcast to drop whenever she sits with Tamar to spill whatever it is she's going to spill. All right. That's all we can do is wait at this point. So shout out to Ashley Braxton for still getting to be able to share your story. All right. I'll be watching, honey. I sure hell will, because y'all know I'm nosy. All right, let's get to the next topic. Love and Marriage Huntsville news, baby. Everybody asked, Camille, when does the reunion come on? I told you guys in 2 weeks that the reunion is supposed to be coming back. Shout out to OMFG Reality TV for posting that as well. And shout out to Eric J. Street News for that. And shout out to somebody else. Oh, the Shade Room. Shout out to the Shade Room. Okay. So let's get into this. As you guys can see on my screen, they got the season wrong. They're in season 10, according to what my DVR says. So they're saying here, Love and Marriage Huntsville season 5, it should be season 10. Finale airs January the 25th. All right. Y'all see that? And the reunion part 1, because it will be a 3-part, I'm hearing. Part 1 reunion will start February 1st. All right. February 1st on the OWN network. For those of you that are still watching the show, if you're not, of course, you know, I do cover Love and Marriage Huntsville. I do review every single episode. I will be reviewing the reunion. Of course, you guys know I'm very thorough in my reviews as well. So you really don't have to watch the show if you watch me, because we're good like that. Anywho and anyway, so that is when the reunion will be shown and take place. Okay. I've been telling you guys 2 weeks, guys, 2 weeks. I told y'all 2 weeks. And Caramel is always right on her news most of the time. All right. So there is the news on that. They might want to update the season because we're way past season 5, baby. We in season 10. I don't know who put this shit up there, but to get your information right. So again, shout out to OMFG Reality TV. As you guys can see, the season finale of this season of Love and Marriage Huntsville will air on January the 25th. And the reunion part 1 will air February the 1st. On the OWN network. All right. Says, I'm wondering whether the person who did it has dirt on the dad and that he doesn't want a child. Brown skin girl. I'm telling you that dad is connected in some way, shape, or form because he's fighting too hard for her to be quiet. I keep saying guilty people want people to shut up when they're ready to talk. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying the dad did something to her, but maybe the dad knew about it and he don't want it out there that said, you know, things happened to his daughter and he sat back and knew about the shit and ain't do nothing about it. That's all I'm saying. Because you fighting real hard for your daughter to be quiet. Okay. They said, somebody said, I watch Carrie Mill all the time. Thank you, love. I appreciate it. Okay. It says it makes me wonder why. Yeah. Absolutely. Let me put that up there with Brown Skin Girl said. Yeah. That's usually how it be, child. You know somebody's secret and they want to get out there and talk about it, especially family secrets. You don't want that shit to get out there, so you're going to go through the courts to try to shut her up. Now I'm looking at Michael Braxton Jr., okay, because I try to like all the Braxtons, honey, because I watched every single episode and or season when they were on. And he kind of gives me, I don't know, now kind of give me vibes since I saw you trying to be suing your daughter when you done lost a daughter. They would think that would make you and your daughter a little bit closer when you lose a daughter, right? When you lose a child, wouldn't it make you closer to your other children that you have because you lost that said child? Obviously not, child. Obviously not. Let's move on, though, honey. Let's move on. So that's when Love and Marriage Huntsville will air. All right, the reunion February 1st and the 25th of January is the season finale. All right, y'all can come on back here on Sundays. Every Sunday at 7:30 is when I do my reviews for Love and Marriage Huntsville. So get into it. All right, let's move on, though. We almost to the end, baby, and I got to get ready to go in a minute. Yes, Lord. Thank y'all for being here and being so patient with me. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. If so, please don't forget to hit that like, honey. All right. At least 5 wrongful deaths and negligence lawsuits have been filed against utility companies or Southern California Edison by families of Eaton fire victims. Okay, we've been talking about the LA fires over here. I've been trying to keep y'all updated on that as well. My Lord, it's so much. But let's get into what it's saying. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. All right. Let's get into the news portion of that. And it says that the utility company Southern California Edison is facing multiple lawsuits for wrongful death and negligence in Eaton fire. Let's get into it.
Tonight, we're learning that several families of some of the victims in the Eaton fire are ready to sue.
New at 10, Fox 11's Gina Silva joins us live with more on what these families are claiming. Gina?
That's right. Edison is facing multiple lawsuits, and here's why. As you know, we were warned for more than a week that severe weather, extreme winds were headed our way. Yet Edison is accused of not shutting down the power grid when the fires initially started.
Say her name. Evelyn McClendon. Say her name. Evelyn McClendon.
I'm sorry, Ben Crump. Didn't I tell your ass the last time you was on my screen that your ass supposed to have been working on the Shanquilla case? We ain't heard shit else about that. I'm sorry. You taking on too many cases. Now you out here with the LA fires. What had happened to Shanquilla? Like, you supposed to have been working on that case. It's given that he keep jumping on all these high profile cases to keep his name out there, but you ain't solving shit. Like, get your bald-headed burnt burrito ass somewhere and finish one case first. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to snap off on Ben Crump because I know he be trying to, look out for the peoples and whatnot. But bitch, can you solve a case first before you hop to something else? Like, damn. We still ain't heard no updates on Shanquilla. Her family every other month hopping on social media crying about their loved one. You dragging your, oh Lord. I'm trying to go there, y'all. I'm trying, Lord. I'm trying. Soon as I saw his ass, I said, I know good and hell well you ain't no hop your ass on this case too. Can you solve one case first, Ben? Like, damn. I'm sorry. Y'all say I'm hollering. I'm dead ass on that. I'm so sick of this nigga. Like, I'm tired of him. Every damn case. You gonna be on the Nazaria case too? Like, why I feel like he gonna be representing somebody in the Nazaria case when the fucking trial starts. And I'm gonna be hollering again too. Because you don't be solving shit. Damn. I'm working harder than you and I ain't even no prosecutor on this shit. Like, I was doing the same thing with the Shanquilla case. I'm over there like, okay, they were doing this, and I guarantee you this person right here was in on it. His ass just sitting back, ain't say shit. Well, yeah, this him. Getting all the clout he can. You a bald-headed, clout-chasing, burnt burrito-eating bitch. Yes, I said it right here on my show. Yeah, I am going to be representing Shanquilla's family on this case. Yeah, that's him up there. And we haven't come across any new developments as of yet, but we're still working on who's we. You ain't did shit. But put on your Easter suit with your brooch, because that's what your ass got on up there. He did a goddamn thing but put on a brooch and an Easter suit with that good old blue Easter tie and hop Joe ass on another case. Yeah, we're going to be getting more developments on that. But first, I got to get over here and talk about this fire first. Fire your ass somewhere and finish the case. Oh, let's finish.
Yeah. Evelyn McClendon was killed in the Eden fire, unable to escape the fast-moving flames. She is one of 25 people who lost their lives in the Eden and Palisades fires. Now, attorneys are filing lawsuits against Southern California Edison, blaming the utility company of failing to prevent the devastating wildfires.
Your houses could have been saved. Your sister
Tonight, we're learning that several
Thank y'all for cutting him off.
families of some of the victims
could have been saved if, when they got the warning on January 3rd, they de-energized the power.
Southern California Edison.
Really? He real passionate about that shit too. They de-energized the power. Where the power come in with the other cases, your ass, you know? Can you work on that for me? That's all. I'm happy you're fighting for the black peoples out here, but you're not following through is all I'm saying. Okay, we need to follow through on these cases. That's all. Solve this one, then hop over here, bald head Columbo. Okay, that's what I'm saying. To start here, start at the beginning, and then hop your ass over here. Okay, you hop around like the damn Easter bunny over here with these damn cases, and you ain't solving shit. Oh Lord, can somebody go dig up your boy that helped OJ over there? Okay, because he was doing what he needed to do. Since he left, child, we ain't had no case solved. Fucking with Ben Crump. He trying to be the next what's dude that represent OJ, child. Let's get on.
Edison did nothing. They did nothing to warn their customers. They did nothing to shut off the power grid. But what they did was continue to watch the winds increase, the devastation in the community increase.
Numerous attorneys across California are making similar allegations. Ed Susilek represents 20 clients suing Southern California Edison.
The fire originated because of a Southern California Edison spark from wires. In addition, this is
Johnny Cochran. Thank you. This nigga think he's Johnny Cochran out here now. Do we need to go dig Johnny Cochran up so he can finish these damn cases? I mean, hell, if he got OJ off, I think he got it. He gonna find out what happened to Shanquilla. Because Ben ain't doing shit out here.
not the first fire that Edison has caused. They have a long history of being responsible for fires going back to 2016 of the Ray fire, most recently the Fairview fire of 2022.
SoCal Edison issued the following statement. Our hearts remain with our communities during the devastating fires in
Could have been saved if, when they got
Southern California, and we remain committed to supporting them through this difficult time. SCE understands that lawsuits related to the Eden fire have been filed. SCE will review them. The cause of the fire continues to be under investigation.
What would you like to say to SoCal Edison?
Shame on you. Like, why? I don't know. It's terrible. You literally just wiped out a whole city, like a whole community.
Zaire Calvin lost his home and his sister Evelyn. He feels strongly Southern California Edison needs to be held accountable.
Without that negligence, if that never happened, my sister would still be here.
And Edison is not the only utility company being sued. Several Pacific Palisades residents are now suing LADWP, alleging water supply failures.
Southern California.
That's crazy, y'all. Damn. Burn up a whole damn community. And a lot of those people couldn't even put their fires out because the water pressure was so damn low. So yeah, sue the water company. Because bitch, what the fuck's going on with my water pressure out here? They couldn't even start or proceed to start putting out any of their fires because they ain't have no damn water pressure out there to do so. And fires just steady going from one house to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. That's sad. Sad.
We are standing directly across the street from where Cheryl and Jeffrey Koo were when they looked up in this hillside and they saw an electrical tower that was going up in flames. It was Tuesday night, right as the Eaton fire appeared to be starting, and they weren't the only ones in this neighborhood who captured the same thing.
Hey, babe, I need you to come out here right now. We have a very big problem.
I've seen the fires spread so fast, and I knew that.
So long story short, all these folk are suing.
Senate's addition.
Ben Crump, he done hopped his ass on another case. Child. I did not expect that shit. And I'm sorry, I didn't even get to look at this topic before I pulled it. But I knew it had something to do with the fires, and I've been trying to keep you up on that. But I'm not happy to see him on another case right now, because you're not solving nothing. I mean, you need to solve some cases first, being like, for real. Thank you for trying to speak for the people, but baby, you gotta follow through. That's all. We need some justice for Shanquilla. Whatever happened to people being brought to justice? I mean, damn. One of the victims, the girl that actually put her hands on Shanquilla and unalived her, she done changed her name and everything. I talked to you guys about that. The girl done changed her whole name to change her identity because she didn't want that heat on social media and people saying stuff about her. So now she's able to hide after she done put her, Dominique, that's your name, child. Dominique done put your hands on this girl and unalived her, and Ben Crump done hop his ass on another case, which then takes your attention from getting justice for Shanquilla. I'm gonna say it again, justice for Shanquilla. Justice for Shanquilla, okay? That's what we need. That's what we need. Let's move on. Let's move on. Do they need to put somebody else on that case, baby? Because it's given, he want that clout and attention, and he want the money too, because of course he getting paid from the family. And I would sue the fuck out of him too, because you ain't doing what you need to do. All right? Absolutely. Let's get into some Chrisean Rock news, honey. Karlissa is responding to a video that was put out there where one of Chrisean's relatives was seen kissing Chrisean's baby on the lips. Now, that's some nasty shit, because there's so many things that could be passed down to this baby who's already dealing with multiple, I'm going to say, medical issues. You should not be kissing people's baby in the mouth. You shouldn't be doing that. All right. Chrisean be doing that. That's her baby. We can't say shit about it. But anybody babysitting this baby and y'all got the shit on video and putting it out there, that is highly disrespectful. Okay. Karlissa, which is Blueface's mom, says she is so angry on every level. Let's get into this video. Karlissa says, I'm angry on so many levels because I don't know what I do if I saw someone put their lips in my baby's mouth. Says that Jonathan Porter, you really are in a world of trouble. And she has the crying emoji. Let's get into this.
He came in the midst of a lot of business in my life.
You can play it no more. That's inappropriate. You're not that baby's mama. You should not be putting, because don't nobody know where your mouth been. Don't nobody know where your mouth been. No. You should not be putting your mouth inside that baby's mouth like that, kissing that baby, because you could be passing, the herpes down to the baby. The baby already dealing with other medical issues. The baby's still not walking. The baby's still not talking. So that's another thing that the baby would have to deal with you passing something allegedly down to this child by kissing it in the mouth. You kiss the baby on the cheek, but don't be kissing the baby directly in the mouth. That's just hell no. If that was my child, I would have some shit to say about that, period. So, I mean, shout out to Blueface Mama for speaking up on that. She says here, my baby, obviously she loves the baby. She and Chrisean buried their differences, and she was able to, Chrisean took the baby over to Karlissa's house to allow her to bond with the baby. So she has some love for this baby. And, for this stuff to be posted on social media, it's just inappropriate, especially when we know about the pedo behavior that's already been uncovered in Chrisean's family, where she talked about her own sister touched her and did things to her inappropriately when she was a child. And she said that shit on national television as well as social media. The sister has denied those things, but obviously there's some type of craziness that's going on in her family as well. And now you're leaving your child, Chrisean, with said sister and or relatives after hearing about pedophilia history in your family as well. So you might want to be watching who you leave your child with, because that is a spirit that is passed down, as we can see in the Naziah case and other cases that we've seen. This is inappropriate. I don't agree with that. Karlissa goes on to say, first of all, I never said anything about you, sweetheart. Says that I expressed how I felt about my grandson when someone sent me that gruesome video. It was nasty. Says that as a grandmother, I can press charges because it's also inappropriate. Okay, go off. Says that I can also press charges for threatening. All right, come on, charges. Says that so consequences pending because I know y'all all on probation. Hot damn. Ooh, child, not on probation, girl. Don't let her go down there and press none of that. That probation gonna be violated, and somebody's ass gonna be clink clink. All right. So don't be out here kissing this baby. She said, y'all got one more time, hot damn it, to be posting another video of my grandson getting kissed on the mouth, and y'all asses all gonna be locked the fuck up. I don't blame you. Do what you gotta do, honey. Do what you got to do. All right, it said that this looks like a child kissing her little cousin. Correct if I'm wrong. It said that Karlissa ain't wrong on this one and ain't. Okay. I don't usually agree with Karlissa, but on this, I got your back, baby, on this one. Says that, why would you kiss someone's child like that? Everybody's slow. Says, so practically making out with a child baby. Says, call the police. Says Karlissa usually be tripping, but she is on point with this one, and she is. Says that never, ever kiss someone's baby on the lips, and don't. Says that I don't know. Says I know y'all all on probation is crazy. That is crazy. Says that now she is doing too much. All right. FS meaning fuck shit. Karlissa says that you got this one. Absolutely. All right. Says call the video gruesome. Said kissing a baby in the mouth is already crazy, but a baby that's not yours is totally insane. All right. Yes, it is, baby. That is insane in the damn membrane. So go on down there, Karlissa, and file them charges, girl, and give us an update on that. Let all the asses be locked the fuck up if they need to be. All right, moving on. This is our last and final topic, guys. Because what did not? Yes, because I'm gonna have to go here in a second because I have work to do. So let's get into this last topic, okay? You guys are welcome to share how you feel in the comments with the topics that we've discussed thus far. All right, let's get into this next topic. Let's go ahead and get into it. Ooh, child, this show has been so drained. I'm tired just talking about Nazia's case, Lord. That took a whole lot out of me. I'm tired as hell. All right. Shout out to Ball Alert. All right. Now, a black man says that American Airlines falsely reported him for sex trafficking his white wife. All right. He got a Becky as a wife. And American Airlines saw their ass on the plane. And they were like, whoop, 911. Someone please call 911. And that's exactly what they did. But they ain't know that was his wife. All right, so let's get into what Baller Alert is reporting, honey, because shout out to them. Says that the black man says that American Airlines falsely reported him for sex trafficking his white wife, his Becky child. Says that a black man is suing American Airlines for falsely accusing him of sex trafficking his white wife. Now, retired police officer Anthony Williams, who is 63, and his wife, whatever her name is, child, she looked like she's foreign. I ain't about to try to pronounce that. Who is 34 years old, were honeymoon bound in September. Damn, he do got a little young one though. He's 63, she's 34. All right, so they were honeymoon bound in September of 2022 when a fellow passenger unfounded suspicion led to a humiliating ordeal. Now, it said that the couple joyfully snapping selfies on their Miami-bound flight were accused by a passenger of trafficking, prompting the flight crew to call the police without further inquiry. Wow. Now, it says that upon landing, it says that the bewildered couple was detained, questioned, and forced to endure public embarrassment as other passengers walked past them, according to his federal complaint. Now, it said that there was no reason to believe that Shelshowska, that's her name, child, oh Lord, was in any danger. It said that Williams echoed this, telling the Independent, says that there was nothing in our interactions that would be indicative, okay, of somebody who was being held against their will, okay? I don't know, child. That says that the lawsuit filed by civil rights attorney Jasmine Brand, the child was about to say, they say, Ben Crump, baby, I'm about to throw my laptop like a Frisbee. Thank the Lord it won't Ben. All right, civil rights attorney. When I saw civil rights attorney, I said, bitch, I know this nigga ain't on another case, but thank the Lord. Now, in the lawsuit filed by civil rights attorney, not attorney Ben Crump, but Jasmine Rand, child, seeks $75,000 in damages for the trauma inflicted. That's all you asking for? I thought that'd have been in the millions, child. You can get that on up out of 75,000 on up in the millions, because that was humiliating, child. It says trauma inflicted, child, including mental anguish, insomnia, child. You weren't able to sleep behind this? Yeah, you need to get more than 75,000. And anxiety? No, see, all of that, that's gonna run you about 500,000 right there. Let me hold on. Carry the one. Yeah, my calculations say that's gonna be about 500,000 you need to be asking for. Hold on. Trauma inflicted. Hold on, let me get my numbers right. Trauma inflicted. Mental anguish. Insomnia, What else? Anxiety too. Shit. 31 squared. Enter. Yeah, my calculations say about 500,000. What y'all think? Yeah, $5,000. $500,000. That's gonna hit you about right. Yeah, that's what you need to be asking for. See, you out here on crackhead price. That crackhead price, 75,000. See, you was humiliated. You can't sleep. You tossing and turning like this when you try to go to bed at night because you think about them holding you up in the airport. You need to bump that up to about 500,000. That's what my calculations right here is telling me on my calculator. Okay. All right. Just trying to help you out because, you know, I'm a civil rights attorney sometimes. I'm a detective. I'm a civil rights attorney, you know, not like being Crump because I do, you know, I follow up on my cases and all that. But yeah, that's what it's giving. So, you know, up that up, child. Ask your attorneys to go and ask for a little bit more in court. All right. And then pay your attorney fees as well. Throw that in there too. All right. But that's all we got for y'all this morning. I hope y'all enjoyed the topics that we had because we talked about some real deep stuff this morning. I hope I did not trigger anyone. And I forgot to put up my trigger banner. I hope I did not trigger anyone with this Naziah case. But as I told you guys, I will continue. Let me get back to my main screen. I will continue to keep you guys updated as I get updates. And I will, as you guys have asked me to, I will follow the Naziah case. Okay. The case is the trial is getting ready to be coming up here very soon. She said, I love you. Thank you so much. Love you back. I will be following up on that case and I will follow that case. Okay. So periodically I will go online or come online rather, look for your notifications and we'll look real time in terms of the trial and what's going on, testimonies and things like that. If it gets a little too gruesome, we're going to have to probably like blurt out some stuff because I don't want YouTube tripping. But yeah, it was very deep. It was very deep. It was very triggering. My apologies for not putting my banner. If I triggered anybody in this video today talking about this Naziah case, my apologies to you because I do want to make awareness and we talk about it all the time. Black women, any women, in my chat. If you guys are dating, you're in the dating phase, if you're married to someone that you know that may have some type of pedophilia about them, do not leave your children with them. If you're dating, do not, you know, move a man in so fast around your children. Watch your children around these men because it is definitely it's an ongoing thing. We hear about these cases all the time. Unfortunately, this case with Naziah turned out to be the way that it is, that she lost her life behind someone that she saw as someone that loved her when it was really someone that was her unaliver and a predator. All right. She fell in love with a predator. It's sad. All right. She was her telling him babe, calling him babe and all this stuff like that was her man. She was very much so groomed. So it's very sad. Apologies for anyone affected by our live today with that. But thank you guys for joining. Let's get out of here. To my mods, you guys always do a great job. Bill Wilson, KBR Tyra, and Scorpion Mist. Thank y'all for an awesome job of modding. Thank you, Brown Skin Girl, for stopping by this morning. All right. You guys check Brown Skin Girl out. I told you guys she do be having some great stuff over there. All right. Thank you, Truth TV Podcast. These are my content creators who also stopped by as well. Purple Unicorn, thank you. Aries Girl Podcast, Deary Talk Show, Messy Hoes ATL, Boss Lady Brand, Girlfriend Chronicles, Chronicles of Kim K. Thank you so much. Love seeing her for stopping by. And Snatch by Diego, if you're in the building, thank you so much for stopping as well. It says, I'm laughing, but we know the difference. Yeah, okay. Thank y'all. It's a great commentary. I try to give y'all some great stuff. Y'all know I be on my shit over here. All right. But thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. And shout out to everybody for these topics that we talked about today. Let's get out of here. Y'all can twerk on out of here, honey. Happy Friday. You guys have a great, great day at work. I'm about to get into my work. And thank y'all so, so much for stopping by. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to this channel if you've not done so for more great topics to come. All right. I'll be popping back in on you guys today with more news that I know you can use. In the meantime, in between time, I am doing my petition here. So you guys, if you would like to share the petition, if you would like to sign it, you may do so. Or if you don't want to sign it or do a comment, you can definitely you can share the petition as well. All right. So thank you guys so much. Somebody said I can't work because you're laughing. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Y'all know I'm crazy over here. Y'all know I'm crazy when y'all clicked on over here. In a good way, of course. All right, but let's get out of here. Love y'all. All right, and bye.